Being born in the US sounds like winning life's lottery. People imagine freedom, endless chances, and the famous American dream. But once you're actually living it, it doesn't feel as perfect as it looked. The dream turns into a race. The pressure never lets up, and every step forward comes with a hidden cost. So let's pull back the curtain and see why being born in the US isn't always the jackpot people think it is. The American Dream Trap. From the time kids are little, they hear the same line over and over. You can be anything you want to be. Teachers say it, parents repeat it, and TV shows play it like a soundtrack. It sounds good, almost magical. Grow up, chase your dream, and life will reward you. But the truth waiting down the road is a lot heavier than the promise. As kids grow, the gap shows up fast. Some have parents who can afford tutors, fancy schools, and safe neighborhoods. Others are left with crowded classrooms, old books, and teachers too tired to keep up. It's the same country, but already two very different games being played. And no matter how hard one side runs, the other has a head start that never goes away. By the time they're teenagers, the dream already feels like a race that's rigged. The "you can be anything" slogan is still there, but the options aren't. College looks possible if your parents can write a big check. If they can't, the only option left is debt, and that debt doesn't go away, it tags along for years. So instead of just chasing a dream, people end up paying for the right to even chase it, while others got the shortcut handed to them. The wild part? Even when someone makes it, people still ask questions like, did you really earn it, or did someone pull strings for you? It gets worse if you don't make it at all. The blame gets tossed right back at you. Well, you should have worked harder. But either way, the promise of equal chances doesn't show up the way it was advertised. And that's how the American dream sets its trap. From the outside, it looks like a straight road where anyone can reach the top. But once you're walking it, the road splits into lanes. One smooth, one full of potholes. And which one you get depends less on your dream and more on where you started. And that's just the start of the mess, because once you look closer, the cracks only get bigger. Student debt from day one. The moment you sign up for college in the US, you're also signing up for debt. Tuition, books, rent, food, it all piles up, and very few families can cover it straight out of pocket. So the loans step in, and suddenly every class you take already has a bill attached to it. Graduation day should feel like freedom, but instead most students walk off stage knowing the debt clock just started ticking louder. The degree in their hand looks shiny, but the loan balance waiting in the background makes it feel heavier than it should. And the worst part? Life doesn't pause while you pay it back. Some students find jobs quickly, but many don't, and the debt doesn't care. The bills keep showing up every month, no matter what. Years later, you realize the bank made more money off your degree than the college ever did. It's not unusual for someone in their 40s to still be paying off books they used in their 20s. For millions, student debt isn't just a bump in the road, it's a shadow that follows them for decades, shaping every choice they make. I think graduation should come with a cap, gown, and maybe a warning label that says, "Congratulations, here's your lifelong subscription to debt." Healthcare horror. And just when you think the money struggle couldn't get any worse, life throws something at you that no one can escape: getting sick. In the US, catching the flu, breaking a bone, or even needing simple medicine can feel less like bad luck and more like a financial disaster waiting to happen. A hospital visit doesn't just mean sitting in the waiting room, it means staring at bills that climb faster than your recovery. The doctor might fix your arm, but the invoice will break your bank account. Even if you have insurance, the fine print usually leaves gaps, and those gaps are big enough to swallow your savings. For average families walking on a thin budget, one emergency room visit can flip everything upside down. Rent money disappears, grocery lists shrink, and suddenly life becomes a game of which bill can we afford to pay this month? It's less about healing and more about surviving the bill that came with the healing. And what makes it sting more is how backwards it feels. In a country that talks about being the best in the world, something as basic as getting medicine often feels like a luxury. People put off doctor visits, skip checkups, or cut pills in half just to stretch a prescription. The illness isn't the only battle anymore. The system itself becomes the bigger fight. Well, enough about hospitals draining wallets. Let's move on before my blood pressure goes up too. Work till you drop. In America, working hard isn't just expected, it's almost treated like a religion. People brag about how little sleep they got, as if being exhausted means they're winning at life. Someone will proudly say, "I only slept 4 hours last night," and you're supposed to clap like it's an achievement. Take a day off? People look at you like you're lazy. Vacations? Most jobs barely give any, and even then, workers feel guilty for using them. The culture isn't about balance, it's about grinding until you burn out. The crazy part is how normal it's become. Someone pulling 60 hours a week is called dedicated, while someone who only works 40 is seen as slacking. Imagine that, working the actual full-time hours you were hired for makes you look lazy. People wear burnout like it's a badge of honor, and if you're not constantly tired, you're told you're not hustling hard enough. Basically, if you're not half dead, you're not working right. And it doesn't stop there. Jobs expect you to always be available. Phone in your pocket, laptop on standby, even on weekends. Your free time isn't really free because a work email or call can hit any time. Picture this. You're finally eating dinner and suddenly your boss is ringing you about a spreadsheet. Congratulations, your family meal just turned into unpaid overtime. By the time people finally crash, the system pats them on the back and says, "Great work. Now do it again tomorrow." Most workers don't even argue anymore. They just laugh about being tired, grab another coffee, and keep going like zombies in suits. You'd imagine after grinding that hard, life would ease up a little. Spoiler, it doesn't. Around here, burnout is treated like a personality trait, and if you're wondering how much worse it can get, then keep going with us. Inequality built in. From the start, not every kid in America is handed the same tools. Some are born in neighborhoods with shiny schools, new textbooks, and tutors who show up at the door. Others grow up where classrooms barely have working lights, teachers are outnumbered, and the playground feels less like a park and more like a cracked parking lot. The unfairness begins early, and it's not about talent or effort. It's about zip codes, skin color, and how much money sits in the family's account. One kid gets a safe ride to school every morning. Another kid has to cross streets where even walking feels risky. By the time both of them sit down in class, one is already 3 steps ahead without even trying. And as the years go by, that head start turns into a whole different track of life. And things only get worse. When trouble shows up, rich families hire big lawyers. But poor families? They get stuck with overworked public defenders. When schools need funds, some districts pass out laptops, while the other kids are handed out outdated books, taped together. It's like running the same race, except half the kids are given sneakers and the other half are told to sprint barefoot on gravel. And no matter how hard the barefoot kids push, the ones in sneakers are always further ahead. Even outside of school, the pattern doesn't stop. Safer neighborhoods mean better chances at staying on track, better friends, and better opportunities, while tougher neighborhoods pile on dangers and distractions that kids never asked for, but still have to survive. Danger is everywhere. In the US, growing up means danger isn't something you see in movies. It's something you rehearse for in school. Kids are taught where to crouch, when to stay silent, and how to act like they're invisible if someone storms in with a firearm. It's not math, it's not science, but it's drilled into their heads all the same. Imagine being 8 years old and learning how to hide from bullets before you've even memorized your times tables. And it doesn't stop at school only. At home, parents don't just worry about scraped knees or bike crashes. They also worry about their kids being at the wrong place at the wrong time. A mall, a park, a movie theater, even spots that should feel safe can suddenly flip into headlines. One loud bang, and the whole crowd panics because everyone's thinking the same thing. Is this it? The scariest part is how common it feels. Fireworks on the 4th of July don't sound like celebration anymore. They sound like something else, and everyone holds their breath until they're sure it isn't something else. Kids shouldn't grow up memorizing exits or flinching at noises, but in America, that's just part of childhood. Instead of daydreaming about the future, too many are busy figuring out how to survive the present. On top of that, guns show up in daily life in a lot of places. You see a pistol on a belt at the grocery store, a rifle in the back window of a pickup, and a guard holding one at the store door. Adults talk about carrying licenses like they're talking about school IDs, and kids hear it all. When so many people are armed, a simple errand feels tense from start to finish. You keep your head up, you walk a little faster, and a normal day can feel like walking through a war zone. And living like that every day doesn't just hit the body, it starts to wear down the mind too. Mental health collapse. In America, it's not enough to just live. You've got to look like you're living perfectly. From school to work to social media, there's this constant push to smile, perform, and keep moving, even when you're falling apart inside. Everyone's posting highlights, but nobody shows the pressure behind those pictures. The weight builds up fast. Kids grow up being told they have to succeed. Adults juggle jobs and bills, and all the while, people are told to tough it out, but bottling it up only makes it worse. Stress doesn't vanish, it stacks until sleep disappears, hearts race for no reason, and days start feeling heavier than they should. Loneliness sneaks in too, surrounded by crowds, yet feeling like nobody really notices what you're going through. And when people finally reach out for help, they run into long waits, high costs, or just a shrug from the system that's supposed to protect them. It's no surprise that depression and anxiety rates keep climbing. Behind the polished image of success, millions are quietly breaking down. And the scariest part? Most feel like they have to hide it, because admitting you're struggling is seen as weakness in a place that only praises strength. It's wild, a country where buying snacks is harder than buying a gun. No wonder people walk around looking stressed out. No safety net. Losing your job in the US doesn't just mean no paycheck. It can mean losing your healthcare, your home, and your stability, all in one swing. 1 month you're covering bills. The next month you're staring at rent you can't pay and medicine you can't afford. The system is built like that, so one wrong step can send you crashing, and there's no backup waiting to soften the blow. Other countries build cushions for moments like this. Lose work there, and you still see a doctor. You still keep your house. You still eat. In America, the cushion is missing. The rules are simple. Keep earning or start sinking. And the scary part is, most people are only 1 or 2 paychecks away from sinking completely. Average families feel it the hardest. Parents juggle 2 or 3 jobs just to keep the lights on because they know there's no backup plan waiting if they miss one bill. Kids see the stress, they feel the worry, and suddenly childhood feels less about fun and more about survival. It's not the land of opportunity when the opportunity slips so easily out of reach the moment life throws a curveball. And here's the kicker. People are told to work hard, as if hard work alone will build that safety net. But the truth is, no matter how hard you work, life can flip on you overnight. Losing a job, getting sick, or having an accident can wipe you out no matter how hard you've been working. Without a system to catch you, every American knows deep down they're only one unlucky day away from watching everything unravel. Funny enough, in America, your whole life can collapse with one bad break, and the government's big rescue plan is a thoughts and prayers post on Twitter. Anyway, let's keep going. Everything is a competition. In America, life feels like you're running in a race that never ends. From the time you're a kid, grades aren't just about learning. They're treated like scoreboards. You're compared to the kid next to you, to your cousins, to some stranger's kid who got straight A's. Even when you do well, someone's quick to say, "Yeah, but can you do better?" That same race follows you into adult life. Getting into college feels like a lottery. Jobs feel like contests, and even buying a home can feel like trying to grab the last chair in a game of musical chairs. If you miss the timing, someone else grabs it, and you're left standing like, so, now what? What makes it worse is how the bar never stays still. Do well in school? Cool, now you need internships. Land a job? Better chase a promotion. Get a house. Make sure it's bigger than the neighbors, or else people act like you're falling behind. It's like no matter how far you run, the finish line keeps moving farther away. And here's where it gets sad. Nobody really wins this race. Even the people who look like they're ahead are already stressing about the next step, the next level, the next milestone. The finish line keeps moving, and everyone is left chasing something that never actually stops. So when people brag about the American dream, you almost tempted to ask, which part? Is it the debt, the stress, or the part where you work yourself to exhaustion just to stay afloat? From far away, it looks shiny, but living inside it often feels like being tricked into a game where the rules are stacked against you. Well, that brings us to the end of our video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to our channel and maybe leave a like too. Take care, and we'll see you in the next one.